Hey YouTube, it's Team Rocket. Before I get started today, I just want to let you guys know we'll be putting up a deck profile on here probably later this week. I'm waiting for a few more cards to come in, but I'll just show you guys a little teaser here. I'll be putting my Inzektor deck up here, kind of go over some of the stuff with you guys. I'm sure some of you may know already, but for those of you who haven't really read into these, it might be interesting and maybe get my take on the build. Some fun tech choices and stuff for the deck. So that'll be up here later. But for the business today, what I want to talk about is talk about some strategy, I guess, and how it pertains to these four real power cards. I mean, these have been around forever. People call them staples. I don't think they're staples anymore. Obviously, you're not going to leave all four of them out of a deck. Some of them may be necessary, depending on the style of build you're playing. But what I want to talk about with these, and I talked about it a little bit before with Heavy Storm, is these cards are so powerful that people are worried about them. They're worried that they're going to get Heavy Stormed. And so early game, they'll set, one card. Maybe they'll set another card. With Mirror Force, I don't know if you guys have ever had this where somebody reads that it's a Mirror Force and they think you have Mirror Force. So they'll maybe turn that one Thunder King to defense position and then attack you with the other Thunder King or something like that, just to try to defend themselves a little bit. Or maybe they'll attack before they summon. And with Dark Hole, maybe they'll keep that extra monster in their hand just in case. Really what these things will do, these cards will do, is they slow your opponent down. And it's not the activation of the Heavy Storm that slows them down, it's them worrying about it. So the interesting dynamic that happens here is, say you activate your Dark Hole. Well, they see the Dark Hole when it goes to the graveyard, and they know that you don't have it anymore. So they say you have 3 cards in your hand, they're like, well, they're not Dark Hole, they don't have a Dark Hole in their hand, so I'm just going to summon all my monsters. If you use your Mirror Force is gone. And so when you try to bluff that one card, say you set a Reinforcement of the Army or a Mind Control or something, just to try to make them think you have Mirror Force, well, it gigs up because the Mirror Force is sitting in your graveyard and they can see it. So what I think is a more pertinent strategy in this format, and maybe it'll still be the good strategy coming in March, is to not play all of these cards, but maybe play 2 of them or 3 of them. I think that Mirror Force is the first one that should go, just because these other ones can be a little bit more disruptive, but Mirror Force, if they throw down Barkyon, Sheehan, Stardust, this isn't going to do you any good. So I would take maybe the Mirror Force out. You can leave Torrential, maybe, because it can stop those big synchro plays or exceed plays. Heavy Storm, people start playing Starlight Road. If they set 3 cards, you don't want to use Heavy Storm because they could have a Starlight Road, so maybe you can leave that one out. But these two, I mean, people have to summon monsters, so maybe you keep these in there. I don't know, just think about it. If you want to play all 4 of these, go for it. They're limited for a reason. They're really good cards. Personally, I've only been playing Dark Hole because I just find that these other cards either don't draw them at the right time, or it's more effective if your opponent never sees it. Because if they don't see it, they think it's in your hand, or they think it's set. So at least if you are going to play these, be very smart about them and don't waste them early, because they don't do any good in the graveyard. And if you use that one Mirror Force just on one Thunder King, you may wish later on in the game that you didn't do that. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to play power cards, with great power comes great responsibility. You can't just throw them around, or you're going to be looking at somebody just summoning a bunch of monsters or setting a bunch of spell and traps because they're not afraid of you anymore. So keep the threat alive and maybe leave some of these out of your deck. That's it for today, and check in later this week. We'll put the Inzektor deck up here when we get all the cards for it. All right, peace.